everybody, how's it going? I'm the Meister and welcome back to Aubrey City in episode 9 of City Skylines. Well guys, we finished up the university in the last episode, and since then I've added a few little knickknacks, such as this bus stop right here, which I did not know was included with the university pack. One of you commented in the last episode that there was this bus stop in the bus menu, and I have since placed it right there. It's not in use yet because we don't have any bus lines configured, but we're going to get to that in the next few episodes. Also, I finished up this whole sort of subdivision over here. It looks pretty nice. It's not completely done. I still want to add a little bit of detail along the highway, maybe add some fences or some sound barriers, something of that nature. So yeah, I mean that's sort of what I've done off camera. So what's gonna go on in this episode is we're gonna start to build our little marina slash touristic district right along the highway here, this little section. So the general idea for this place, other than the marina, there's going to be a sort of boardwalk where you can go along and walk along. Oh my god, I'm just repeating myself. You can walk along. Alright, so the general idea for this district here, which is called Myrtle Square at the moment, that's going to change. You guys can name it whatever you want, so please comment your suggestions. So the general plan is going to be, I'm going to build sort of a boardwalk going along the coast as well as our planned marina. I've already plopped down this harbor ship port cruise port thing. So we're going to add a few little details along the water, such as the boardwalk, and make it a little bit more lively than it is. The reason I've plopped this already was I just wanted to complete this little road segment right here. So that's what's done so far, and along this main road in the middle right here is going to be some shops. Okay, so first of all, I thought this seawall was a little bit too plain for my liking, so I went on the workshop and I found these really nice boardwalks. So I'm going to replace the default seawalls with these. They look a lot nicer. They're pretty easy to use, although you have to make sure your terrain level is perfectly even, because if you have even the slightest bit of slope, as you saw there, it's not going to be level. It'll place itself a little weird. So you just have to make sure that you have a nice, flat, even surface, and you shouldn't have any problems plopping these down. So yeah, I'm gonna finish plopping this down. Unfortunately, I had to fight with it for quite a while in order to get everything nice and even, but it's not a huge deal. And I mean, the time it took to place these is completely worth the time it took to place them. And along the coast here, I decided to put this little boardwalk, and I'm going to add a few little props here and there just to spice it up a little bit. One thing that bothers me a little bit is there's no way to plop any fences or gates or anything on the edge of the default seawalls because of the way that the terrain works. It only allows you to put your fence about halfway up the wall, as I'm doing right now, because if you put it too far close to the water, your fence will sort of go into the seawall, and it looks really ugly. So I did the best that I could with what I have, and I mean it really looks not half bad. It looks pretty decent. One thing I want to mention is that as I was making this video, I sort of realized that this was going to be a two-part series. I was about 3 or 4 hours into making this episode, into recording, and that's when I noticed, like, this is a huge project, guys. It should be over in the next episode. If not, the next one after that. So in this particular episode, guys, we're going to finish the actual marina. So the actual coastline along the river. You'll see that I'm going to build this sort of boardwalk. Anyways, you'll see later on in the episode. And in the next episode, we're going to move a little bit more inland. So that's a little overview of what you should expect in this episode and the next one. Although I do get a little bit started on building the inland a little later in the episode, start plopping down some stores and apartments and a whole bunch of different stuff. But yeah, that's sort of my game plan for this episode as well as the next one. Originally, this was supposed to be one episode, but like I just said, I noticed, you know, after a few hours of recording that it's a much bigger project than I initially expected. But that's okay, guys. It means way more content for you guys. So essentially what's going on right now, guys, is I want to provide good access to the seaport that you're seeing right now. So I'm going to build a series of pedestrian bridges spanning along the highway that'll provide access from the port right into downtown. It'll also allow my citizens who are on foot to cross the highway right here, rather than walking across the crosswalk and, you know, taking a long detour to get into downtown. So this way I think it's going to be a lot more efficient, although part of it's going to be purely aesthetical. As you can see right here, the bridge just sort of goes right into the building. That's purely just for looks, but in a second here I'm going to build a ramp going right down to the sidewalk. So what I'm trying to avoid with this little bridge here is what happens when a boat comes into port. A whole bunch of vehicles and citizens will spawn right outside of the port, and it just creates a huge traffic jam. I'm hoping to reduce the amount of traffic that this is going to produce. I'm hoping that a lot of citizens will just choose to cross the bridge on foot into downtown to reach their destinations. On the other side of the bridge, I'm thinking I'm going to build a nice bus terminal, so it'll entice the citizens just to walk right to the bus terminal. So we'll see how that works. Right now I'm just building a nice filler park. I wasn't too sure what I wanted to put in this particular park, so I figured I'd just plop down a bunch of random props. And I opted for the huge horse statue, and I think it looks pretty good because it's right as soon as you come down the road that's facing it. I mean, that's the first thing you're going to see. So I think it would look pretty cool from a land view, a first-person view, rather. Alright, so moving along, guys. Although I'm not completely finished my seaport, I want to get started on the actual boardwalk that's going to go all across the coast here. So my idea for doing this is I downloaded this nice boardwalk pack. I believe there's only 2 or 3 different boardwalk parts that you can place down. But they do have to be roadside, so what I'm going to do is plot this nice path going along the entire coast, and along it is going to be a nice boardwalk. It's going to be pretty awesome, guys. I think you're going to like the end result of this. So one of my favorite parts of this entire project is coming up in just a few seconds here. So along this building that I just plopped right here is going to be a nice foot/bike path that you just saw me plop down there. And on either side of that footpath there's going to be some shops. So I downloaded the Beale Street buildings off of the workshop, and that's basically a whole bunch of like bars and clubs. So it's a pretty nice place to hang out. There's going to be lots of props and different things in that specific area. So I mean, by the end of this I was super happy with the result that I got from that little area. I can't wait for you guys to see it. You guys can see here that I'm struggling a little bit. What I'm trying to do is, within the little boardwalk pack that I downloaded, one of the pieces has these little shops, and I wanted to center them with the boardwalk, or with the footpath that I just plopped down. And because there was a road that was perpendicular to it, it wasn't actually letting me plop it the way I wanted it, so I had to delete the footpath and then plop it down again. Alright, well, I'm going to stop talking for the next few minutes. I'm going to let you guys enjoy me plopping down some stuff, enjoy a little bit of music as well, and I'll check back with you guys in a few minutes. We're going to actually get started on building the actual marina. So that was really interesting to build. I've never built anything remotely similar to that before. I'm used to building airports and roads and stuff. In terms of sea-related things, it's not something that I have a lot of experience building, so it was definitely a challenge and definitely a big project to take on for me. Alright guys, so basically what's going on right now is I'm going to start to build the seawalls that'll actually protect the boats in the marina from the river current. And this is a lot harder than it might seem. Through trial and error, I've actually developed a nice technique to build these. It's not too difficult, but it is kind of tricky. Basically what you do is you just take your footpath and you plop it along a little chunk of land that you created with the extra terraforming tools. And from my experience, what happens is they raise to like 10 meters in height, and there's no way to actually set the level that you want manually. Well, you have to do it manually with the leveling tool, or I forget exactly what it's called, the height tool or whatever. So once you're done plopping down your road, you can go ahead and get rid of the extra land that's attached to those road pieces. So I smoothed it out a little bit just to make it look nicer, because with this terrain mod you can actually see through the water. The water's a lot more clear than default water, so you gotta sort of make your sea floor look a little nicer, just to pay a little bit more attention to it. This here is pretty interesting, guys. I was playing the game on pause for the last little while, and whenever I pressed play, all those terrain modifications just caused the water to whoosh up, and my sunken highway actually acted as a nice water break, so the water didn't actually go that far upland. It just got caught within the highway, and it eventually flushed itself out. But it was pretty cool to just watch it act that way. I really enjoy the water physics in this game. Okay, so now that the majority of the boardwalk is done, for this section anyways, I'm going to start to plop rocks along the actual marina, or the seawall, or breakwater, whatever you want to call it. And this technique that you're seeing me do right now is actually something that I learned off of YouTube. I'm not exactly sure from which video I would have watched that would have taught me this technique. But anyways, I do watch a lot of City Skylines videos on YouTube. I try to keep up with the times, see what people are doing. If there's something that I like that a certain YouTuber does, and I think it's a really good idea that I can implement into Aubrey City, I'll go ahead and do that. So yes, I do watch almost all of Flux Trance videos, Strict Toaster, all the big YouTubers, and I'm always trying to find newer City Skylines channels. Because there's a few little smaller guys that are really good as well. So yeah, I just try to keep myself updated a little bit. So if you guys are ever in a situation where you need to build a seawall or a marina or anything similar to this, I highly recommend using this technique because you can get a lot done in a super short amount of time instead of placing the rocks one by one. It's really easy to do, and that's why I highly recommend it. Although for this technique, you do need the plot line tool. So what I want to do now is I want to build a boat ramp going into the water because it's never something that I've seen anybody do before, and it's something that almost every single marina I've ever been to has. And of course, the first time that I tried this, it failed. I didn't like the way it was looking. But it's something that I get back onto later in this episode that you're going to see, and I'm pretty sure you guys are going to like the results that I've gotten. One thing that you'll notice while watching me play is that I get bored of working on the same thing really quickly. So you'll see me going back and forth from working on the bar slash club slash restaurant district, and then go back to the marina, and then go back to building a park, which I'm gonna do in a second. So I mean, there's no shortage of variety, and it's something that I've noticed that I've been doing, especially this episode. While watching myself play in this particular episode, that's where I've noticed that it's pretty evident.
We lose ourselves in the spirit of things. We lose our sight when we put our trust in things of this material world, of things that fade away. Yet we keep coming back, 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 keep coming back. Of things we know. Spirit of things, we lose our sight when we put our trust in things of this material world, the things that fade away. Yet we keep coming back, 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 keep coming back. Of things we know.
Alright, so now that we're almost done this side of the marina, which is more of a recreational side of the marina, we're going to move on to the next side, which is going to be a little bit more industrial. So you're going to see here that I'm going to plop some industrialistic props, some propane tanks, some cranes. I'm going to plop down, you know, various stuff that would indicate it's more of a commercial or industrial area. And if you see here, you will notice my nice boat ramp that I'm really proud of. I used part of, I think it was the seawall pack. It was like an industrial style seawall that was part of a seawall pack, and I'm really satisfied with the way it turned out. There's a little bit of a lip that's kind of weird. It would be an awful bump, especially for the size of cars in the game, but you really don't notice it that much. Nonetheless, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. So for the next minute, I'm going to be plopping down some boats. Once I'm finished that, I'll get right back to you guys. Just to tell you a little bit how I'm doing this, I'm using the Move It tool, I believe it's called. It basically allows you to copy, paste, and move around different props.
Fill me out with your smile. Now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you win this game. Take me out when I'm down. 'Cause with you I'm safe and sound. 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 I'm safe and sound.
Okay guys, I'm just finishing up this little section of the marina, and in a moment we're going to move on to a little bit of housing that we're going to plop down. There's going to be some huge apartment complexes in the area. With it being a recreational, sort of touristic area, the rent and the quality of life is going to be a little bit higher in this area. You can expect a few more high-class residents in the area. Alright guys, we're nearing the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. It was actually a really long episode, almost 42 minutes long. Longer episodes do take a little bit more time to edit, but that's alright, I don't mind one bit. Just let me know in the comment section, guys, if you'd rather have maybe 20-minute episodes or 40 minutes. Let me know what your preference for video length is. With that being said, if you guys enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to my channel for much more content on the way. But before the video ends, I'm going to let you guys enjoy a nice little cinematic of what we've done so far. And in the next episode, you can expect some similar content of this episode. We're finally going to finish the Marina, and we're going to move a little bit more inland and eventually make our way into downtown. So until the next episode, you guys take care.